if everyone finds them, the only thing you might want to grab is maybe an extra cushion, because halfway through we're going to just roll onto our side, and we just want that extra cushion between our shoulder and our ear, just so our necks is not sort of hanging off and we lose that alignment. So just grabbing an extra cushion to hand, that would be very useful. And then once you've got that, just settling yourself down, whether that's on the bed, on your mat, on the carpet. We're just going to focus for a moment on really building our strength today, improving the flexibility, our bone density. Just for now, let's find a real comfortable lying down position. So we want our feet to be a little bit wider than hip width today. And just making sure you've got a nice even weight through the feet. So we're not sort of rolling inwards, we're not rolling outwards. Got a nice base connection. Really think about a tripod, big toe, little toe, center of the heel. Just let the arms relax down by the side of the body, just making sure that the shoulders are drawn away from the ears, you're not all hunched up. Feeling the weight of the back of the head, feeling the weight of your rib cage softening down, and start to feel the weight of your pelvis. And you're just going to close your eyes and just take a few breaths here. Breathing in through the nose, really deep, wide, feeling the sides of the rib cage start to expand. And then as you exhale out the mouth, just start to feel everything close in. So it's quite good to get a little bit of feedback. So placing your hands on the outside of your rib cage, keeping the chest nice and open, relaxed, breathing into your hands, and then exhaling. Just start to feel those ribs just start to close in and just soften down. And just finding that breath, breathing a few more times. Oh, hello Sarah, I've just seen you come on. So we're just connecting the mind, the body, and we're really bringing the focus inwards at the moment. And by breathing wide and full, it really helps that connection. Let's just do one more. Breathing in through the nose. Just let your mind wander, especially if you can hear my rain in the window. Really quite nice. And then after this breath, just start to open the eyes softly and just start to breathe normally again, bringing your arms down by the side of the body, palms facing down. We're going to come into some neck circles or neck rotation. So you're going to take a little breath in, and as you exhale, just start to allow your right ear to go towards your right shoulder. And then taking a breath in, coming back to center, before exhaling, going over to the other side. So just releasing any tension. You're not forcing a movement, you're simply allowing the neck to go as far as it needs to. Exhaling on the movement. While you're doing that, you're still thinking about keeping those ribs nice and grounded, nice and heavy. Feel the spine lengthening into your mat. Making sure you're holding no tension through the jaw, the mouth. Just do one more to each side. And then once you've done an even amount, just bringing your head back to center. We're going to come into some very small circles. So I want you to imagine you have a pencil on the tip of your nose, and you're going to just start to trace a little circle about the size of a 10-pence piece, so not very big. So letting the neck go and just start to envision that you've just got this pencil. You're just drawing a really small circle. You're still breathing. And then going the other way. Tiny, tiny, no bigger. And then settling yourself back in the center, where we're going to take the arms over your shoulders. So just letting that humerus just drop down into the shoulders so they're not too far. The shoulders are still settled down the back. And we're going to take our right arm and reach it up to the ceiling as you take a breath in. And then exhale, just let it drop back down into the mat. Other side, you're breathing in. So feel that shoulder girdle just slightly glide away from the mat, the floor, and then just let it release and sink back down. So we're just mobilizing our shoulder girdle at the moment, lowering it down. So keeping them roughly about shoulder width apart. Nice strong wrists. One more on each side. Breathing in, reach. Exhaling. And then doing about 3 double reaches. So we're breathing in, taking the fingertips up towards the ceiling, and then exhaling, letting it drop back down. So nothing else is moving at this point. All we're working through is our shoulder girdle. We're still keeping our pelvis lovely and grounded. And even though we're not using our abdominals, I want you to start to think about a little connection, like a zipping up through your center, almost like you're trying to push your belly button back towards your spine. I just want you to start to become aware of that activation. Once you've done about 3 of your shoulder drops, you're just going to turn your palms to face the backs of the room, and then just reach those fingertips up one last time towards the ceiling, feeling that stretch over your forearm. Lower, turn the palm, and lower them all the way back down to the mat. Good. So keeping your hips or your legs about hip width, you're going to place your hands onto your shoulder. And we're going to come into some knee rolls. So I want you to take both legs over to the right. So both feet slightly coming onto the outer edges. Start to zip up through your tummy so your shoulders still stay connected to the mat. And then take them back to the center and gently over to the other side. So we exhale on the movement, getting a little lift in that opposite hip. Back to center. So it's a very small movement. We're just working through our spine in a little bit of rotation. So it's good to keep your hands on your hips. It's giving you a little bit of feedback. So we're not taking those legs very far. Got that zip up through our center, and we're keeping our shoulders connected into the mat. Just one more to each side. Breathing in on the exhale. Breathing in the exhale. Breathing out on the movement. Breathing in as you take your legs back to center. Last one. And then coming back to center. And then you can just start to walk your feet a little bit closer now. So they're roughly about hip width. And we still got a slight gap between the back of the knee and to the thigh. So from here, we're just going to do a couple of spine curls now. So I want you to think about your tailbone and just start to draw it towards your nose so you can feel that lower part of the back release. And then carry on peeling your spine up and away off the mat. Now, if you're finding this a bit tricky, just make sure your feet aren't too far away or too close. So we want them somewhere in the middle so it's not too much on the hips. A little breath in, and then exhaling. I want you to start to lower your spine down, but try and feel each and every vertebra. And then you can just relax your pelvis back to the start. Going again. Take a little breath in, exhale, tuck that tailbone, push through those feet, open those hips, and just gently peel your spine up and away. Soften those ribs down, keeping the neck free of tension. A little breath in, and then exhale, just start to lower the spine down. So when I say keep that tailbone tucked, I want you to feel that lower part of the back release before just relaxing the pelvis. And it will go back into its natural neutral curve. One more. Breath in, breath out. So still got an even weight through your feet. Opening those hips. Softening the breastbone down. And then on your next exhale, just start to lower the spine, bone by bone by bone. And then just release that pelvis. And just take your knees into the body. And just give yourself a little rock from side to side. Just release that lower back. And then keep your toes together. Just start to gently circle the hips a couple of times, about 3 or 4 one way, and then go in the other direction. And then lower your feet down. back to about hip width apart. We're going to work through our shoulders a little bit more. So let's take those arms back over the chest, palms now facing your knees. I'd like you to take a little breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to start to reach your arms overhead. Now, as you're reaching them overhead, I want you to think about that little zip up through your center. If you don't use your abdominals, our spine naturally wants to stick out our ribs. So we draw that center in, keep your ribs heavy, and then take your arms all the way back over chest and down by the side. So we breathe in and we exhale. Thinking about that little zip up through your center. Keep your ribs heavy. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Breathing in and exhale. Good. Going again. Breathing in and exhaling. Soften that breastbone down. Framing your head with your arm. Breathing in and exhaling. Last one like this. Breathing in and exhaling. Breathing in and exhaling. Good. So I'm going to do a movement called chicken wings now. So the first time you do this, you might find this a bit confusing, but we're going to come back into that movement we just did. So zip up through your center, hold your arms framing, and then I want you to bend your elbows, drawing them towards the side of the body, almost like you're holding an invisible tray in front of you. And then reach those arms back overhead and all the way back down. I'll go again. So we exhale that in. And as you breathe in, you're going to draw those elbows towards the side of the body. Keep your wrists nice and strong. And then reach the arms away again. Take them back up over chest and all the way down. Last one like this. Breathe in, exhale. Draw that tummy in. Breathe in as you draw your elbows towards the sides of the body. It's like you're holding an invisible tray. And then reach those arms back overhead. Take them over chest and all the way down by the side of the body. Good. And just let your arms settle for a moment. Just make sure they haven't crept towards your ears. Just take a few breaths here. A few breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Just taking the neck back side to side. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. So we're going to come straight into our start. So I want you to slide your right leg away and flex the foot towards your toes. Feel that hip open. And then you're going to reach your left arm overhead and take it all the way towards the back of the room. So we're starting to get this lovely diagonal stretch. Take everything back. So the arm comes back down, the leg comes back in, and then we go to the other side, but we start to speed it up. So we're breathing in, exhaling, reach. Breathing in, engage through that tummy as you take back everything to the start. So just keep alternating opposite arm to opposite leg. Breathe in as you take everything back to center with control. We're going to the other side. So as you reach that leg away, flex the foot, bring the toes towards the nose. So you just open that hip. It really gives a nice stretch through the calf as well. You've got one more to each side. Breathing in, flex the foot, stretching that arm, zip up through that center. And then take it back. Last one, or do another two if you're uneven. And then take it back down. Good. Resetting, just making sure that the feet are still about hip width. We're going to peel our right heel up and come into a single knee fold. 90-degree angle, knee is nicely in line with the hip, so don't bring it too far in. So we still have to use that tummy to keep our leg in position. We're going to hold it here and then just lower it back down with control. Going to the other side, lift your heel and draw that knee in. Breathe in and lower it back down. Back to the other side, coming into a single knee fold and lowering it back down. Back to the left. Lovely control. Keep the ribs nice and soft. Keep zipping up through that tummy. and lower. On the next one, we're going to come into a double knee fold. If this feels okay, otherwise stick with your single leg knee folds. Now, if this feels okay for you, we're going to come into an exercise called the toe taps. So I want you to start to lengthen that thigh away, zip up through your tummy, tap the toe down and draw it back. So we'll add the breath. We breathe in, helps with that abdominal control, and then exhale, come back. Try and keep your chest relaxed and open. Breathing in, exhaling. Breathing in, exhaling. Breathing in, exhaling. We've got one more set to go. Breathing in, exhaling. Make sure you're even. Breathing in, exhaling. And then take those knees in and just relax. Just give yourself a little wiggle. A little breath in and a little breath out. Drop the tailbone, draw the knees away. And then lift the tailbone, pulling the knees back in. And then just lengthen up, lowering the feet back down. And then sliding both legs away. And just bring both toes towards your nose and then point the toes away. Toes towards your nose, point them away. And then just start to make some circles with your ankles. And go the other direction. And then just relax the feet down for a moment. Reach your arms all the way overhead and just let everything go in a nice long pencil stretch. We're just going to come into a little bit of side flexion as long as this feels okay for you. So we're going to take our left ankle, just cross it over towards the right foot. And then I want you to grab hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Watch if you are hypermobile. What I want is just a little flexion into our spine. So we're sort of coming into this little banana shape, but if you're hypermobile, just be really, really careful with this, but I don't want you overstretching yourself. So just be mindful that I just want a little bit of a side flexion to that spine. Just taking a couple of breaths here. And then just release. Just release the ankle. Bring yourself back to center before we go to the other side. So we're going to take our right ankle, slightly cross it over our left. And this time we're going to grab our right wrist with our left hand and just going to the other side, our little banana stretch, just getting a little bit of side flexion into that spine. Taking a little breath here, a little breath out, breathing in, and then just release the wrists, uncross the ankle, lower the arms down, and just start to bend the knees again, drawing them back up. And then just turn your palms to face the ceiling. And then I just want you to take your hands all the way towards your shoulders and release. Shoulders and release. Last one, shoulders, release. And then bring your hands so they're sort of underneath your elbows, because you're going to start to take those hands out to the side. So we're getting some medial rotation into our shoulders. If that sounds confusing, the elbows are staying connected to the floor. And we're just simply allowing the hands, which are currently facing more towards my face, just starting to get that little bit of rotation. Just a couple of those. 2 more. Make sure the shoulders are still heavy and relaxed, the chest is open. And the hands come back over. Bring them one last time towards your shoulders. And take them all the way down and just relax. Just take a little moment here. So from here, we're going to come gently onto our side. So this is where I said an extra cushion would be very useful, because I want you to come into a chair position with our legs. So if you've got a mat, it's quite good to use the mat as a bit of a base. So we'd like our shins to sort of be roughly in line. We've got our cushion, which we're going to just place between the, if you've got your cushion, we're just going to place your head on the top of it, so you're not going to fall off the back. So the legs are in front of us, the arms are in front of us as well. And just take a little moment here just to look down at your knees, just making sure that they're stacked nicely, the hips stacked. This isn't an uncomfortable position. This is uncomfortable for you. Just come back onto your back and just do some nice stretches that we did earlier. Otherwise, we're just going to add a little bit more rotation into our spine. So the shoulders are away and we've got a little connection through our tummy, a little lift. And we're going to take a breath in as we reach that top arm all the way towards the ceiling, and just start to gently follow it with your gaze. Just keep scooping through that belly and then carefully lower the arm back down with control. And then your head will follow. So your neck is naturally rotating along with your upper spine as you follow the gaze. So that's why it's important to have that cushion, just to make sure your head's not going to fall back. Come back down. Now, only if this feels okay for you, you can take it a little bit further. Just exhaling, just coming into a little bit more rotation. Don't overdo it. Keep that arm nice and active. Just take a little breath in here. And then as you exhale, just take your arm all the way back down to the start. Good. And then from here, we're just going to carefully come over onto the other side. So just being careful. All you need to do is just take yourself. I'm obviously going to switch, but just roll yourself over. Just check you've got the cushion behind your head, so you're not going to roll off the back. Arms out in front. We're sitting in our imaginary chair. We've got a little lift. Just look down at your knees. Just make sure that top knee is not sliding away. We'd like them nicely stacked. So shoulders away from the ears. Take a little breath in as you start to reach that arm towards your ceiling. Only go this far at the moment, so it's directly underneath your shoulder. Keep zipping up through your center, like pushing your belly button slightly back, and then lower back down. And breathing in and exhaling. And breathing in and exhaling. And then on the next one, if it's okay for you, you can take it a little bit further. So we've got a connection through our tummy. Start to open the chest, coming into a slightly stronger rotation. Breathe in and then exhaling. Taking it all the way back down. And just release, just relax for a moment. And then from here, you just carefully come back onto your back. You've got that extra cushion, just lose it. I expect it will be a little bit too much for your neck. Just roll and just let everything go for a little moment. So just opening up the arms, palms facing towards the ceiling. And just take a few breaths here. Breathing in through the nose. And exhaling out the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. And exhaling out the mouth. And now slide both legs away. Having them a little bit wider, just at a nice comfortable distance. And I just want you to come into your corpse position and just let everything be completely still and silent. And just start to feel the weight of the body and how different you might be feeling from the start of the lesson to how you are now, maybe a little bit longer, a little bit more grounded. I just want you to take this moment for you. We are so often running around like headless chickens, and sometimes it's nice just to stop and be still and silent and connect yourself with your body. Start to scan how everything is feeling. Making sure that the jaw is relaxed and you're not holding your tongue against the roof of your mouth. Just feel the weight of your shoulders, the weight of your rib cage, and the weight of your pelvis. Let everything go. Just breathing nice, long, deep breaths in through the nose. And just release everything, all that tension, out the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. And out the mouth. And again, just letting your left ear go towards your left shoulder. And then taking it back to center. And your right ear over towards your right shoulder. And back to center. And then just gently start to open the throat. So just sliding the head away, just start to feel a little extension. Don't take it too far. Just opening the throat. And then drawing it back. And then gentle chin tuck. Not a big movement. And then just let the head settle in the middle. Just bring your arms slightly towards the body and just start to wiggle your fingers. And then start to circle your wrists. Make a fist and just start to get a little bit more mobility through the wrists. So let the forearms lift and then go the other direction. And again, just pointing and flexing your feet. And do it at the same time as your wrists. Oh, that was my ankle clicking. And then just doing a few little circles. You'll probably click like I will. And then just let the heels become heavy. And then you're going to punch your arms up to the ceiling. Open your fingers out. Cross your wrists over and just start to let your fingertips come underneath your rib cage. Just like you're giving yourself a little hug. Just let the shoulders relax and just let your elbows slightly draw away. Breathe in here. And breathe out. And then open those arms all the way back up. Cross them the other way and do exactly the same thing. Just hooking your fingertips slightly underneath your shoulder blades. Slightly drawing the elbows away. Just taking a few breaths in. Breathing in. And reaching those arms all the way up for one last time. Taking them all the way behind you. And then circling them out to the side where they can just stay heavy back down on the floor. And you can just allow yourself to just become really settled and really heavy. Just connecting that mind to your body, bringing your focus inwards, just breathing, just relaxing. And this is where I'm going to leave you tonight. And I'm not going to ask you to get up. I'm going to let you take your time. Just enjoy this moment for you, hopefully feeling relaxed and recharged. And any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. But have a lovely evening. And hopefully some sunshine will come soon. Have a lovely evening and hopefully see some of you next week. Take care.